Hey guys, welcome to my first episode of my new podcast on my own. I've been wanting to do a podcast on my own for quite some time. I want to say about 2-3 years now. I've wanted to have my own podcast for a very long time, like 2-3 years, because I don't know, it's just something that, it's still YouTube and I still want to kind of do my YouTube stuff, but I thought because I want to play games and stuff, so I think I'm going to leave that on my Twitch, twitch.tv/MaddieEels, by the way. I'm just going to put that there. And then I also want to do real life stuff and actual cute aesthetic videos, which kind of it doesn't clash very well with gaming videos in my opinion. So I'm gonna keep that on my YouTube channel along with this podcast. I'm gonna have this podcast as a side project to my YouTube channel. So here I am, and the first episode is going to be why is it so hard to make new friends, and can I get over my anxiety? I think, talking from experience, having there's obviously different types of anxiety, like separation anxiety, social anxiety, and probably a load more. I have been diagnosed with social anxiety for 5-6 years, maybe even longer. I feel like I've had social anxiety my entire life, especially throughout high school. I always struggled to make friends, make new friends. I've always not had to rely on, but I just always kept in my little circle of friends, and I've only ever really had 5 friends, and I was close to 2 or 3 of them. One of them I don't really talk to anymore. The other one that I was close to, we kind of just went our separate ways. We still talk and whatever, and we still invite each other to parties and birthdays and shit like that. But we're just not as close as we used to be when we were in high school. And the other one I've actually got really close to this year. So yeah, and she was the one that I wasn't close with at all really throughout high school. So yeah. But I think when you obviously leave high school in the UK, when you leave high school, you go off to college, or you either go and get a full-time job, an apprenticeship or something. Oh my god, I can't talk. You either go to college, go to sixth form, or go to an apprenticeship, which is working. You get paid to work, but you get paid lower than if you were to actually work there. I don't know, I've never been an apprentice before. Wow, okay, I said a lot in quite a short time, I think. I don't know. It is really dark in here. I feel like I should go and turn on another light. Also, my fringe is getting too long. My hair needs washing. Yeah. Also, the last time you guys saw me on here, I had red hair. Your girl has black hair now. I am a changed woman. I've changed a lot actually since you last saw me. Not that you really care or you would notice, but I'm gonna stop myself before I talk about another topic that I have saved for another episode, so keep that. Actually, No. No. I wanted it to... No. No. Yeah. So, and I've gone to college. Well, I went to college and then I dropped out of college, took a year off, and now I'm back in college. It's confusing. I just didn't like college, and I was like, actually, what am I doing with my life? I need to lock the fuck in. So I went back to college. So that's where I'm at right now, and I've had to make new friends, and it's scary. It is. It's making new friends is scary, especially when you don't know anyone. Like, sometimes when you go to college, there's some people in your class that you used to go to school with, so you kind of have an idea of who they are and what they're like. But I don't know any of these people. I've never spoken to these people. I've never seen these people before. And I've been in college now for 4 months, I think. Like 4.5 months. Which is crazy because it feels like I haven't been there long at all. But I guess I have. And I've made friends, I guess. I would say I've made friends. It's not necessarily that we're friends because we don't hang out or talk to each other outside of class. We kind of just talk. It's like a literal classmate. Like, we literally talk to each other about school, about our work and our course. And then that's it. We don't be like, hey, so do you want to go out for a coffee later today? Do you want to come to my birthday party? Like, we don't talk like that. It's literally all about school. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like social media is a big part of it, in a way. Because, like, actually, I don't know. I just feel like we've been so, I don't know what the right word is, like, desocialized. Like, we've grown as a generation, like, evolving our whole lives around computer screens and people, like virtual people, not like AI. Again, that's a completely different episode, a completely different topic for another episode. But like, you're seeing me right now. Like, people can be very parasocial about people that don't even know they exist. And don't get me wrong, I have been very parasocial. Not to the point of where I'm literally stalking them, because that's a little bit weird. That's not even just a little bit weird, that's very much weird. Like, that's a lot weird. What the hell was that? Did you guys hear that? That's scary. That is scary. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think people are so scared to make new friends as well. I think it's kind of like a universal thing now, because I don't know, I think lockdown, when we were all in lockdown in 2020 and 2021, to be fair, we got so used to talking to people on FaceTime, like virtually, and not in person. And that was for like a year and a half. So I think we kind of got so used to that too, when we actually got out of that lockdown and we were able to socialise again and go back to work and school and everything. I just think that our brains were kind of like reset, they were like rewired, and we kind of forgot how to socialise. And I think that's still, because especially with teenagers, not so much adults, because obviously adults, or like people like over the age of 25, I think, aren't as affected, like, socially, than people that were studying and being, like, going to school or whatever. Like, people under 25, I think, were affected a lot more, because, like, our brains are technically still developing, and, like, we might have not got, like, we haven't got as much experience as people over 25 socially. I might be completely wrong, and I might just be completely waffling here, but that's what I think. I genuinely am blaming us going into quarantine, and obviously that's not our fault for going into quarantine, because it was a literal global pandemic that was killing millions of people, which is still crazy, by the way. I survived a global pandemic. I survived. I got it twice, and I survived. I'm amazing. No, that's not right. I don't know why I said that. That's not right at all. But you know what I mean, like, and because I'm now a year below of what I'm supposed to be, because I missed a whole year, so I've had to start at the beginning again, pretty much. Everyone is like a year or two younger than me. Like, there's still people in my class that are like 16 years old, and I'm like, is it? Yeah, like, that's insane. I'm in the same class as 16-year-olds. That's wild to me. That's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I just think we've been consuming so much social media where we have kind of given ourselves mental illnesses, like depression, definitely, like, and I'm gonna just come straight, I'm gonna come clean. People think that having a mental illness is a trend, like, it's the new trend, like, oh, winter depression's here, guys, guess I'm gonna have to bed rot. Like, girl, no, don't even. Like, it's so stupid, because depression is a serious thing that you have to go to a doctor and get diagnosed for, and then you can be put on medication, like antidepressants, right? And bed rotting isn't like a cute, quirky little thing. Like, I haven't necessarily bed rotted, but I have been in bed for, well, actually, no. Like, the latest I've been in bed for, or like slept in for, is like 2 o'clock. Like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I don't know if that's necessarily me being lazy, or if it's me, like, I don't know. I can't even remember what time I would have gone to sleep. It probably would have been quite late, like midnight. But even still, even if I got up at 8 o'clock, I would have had my 8 hours sleep. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. But I don't know, just people on TikTok, especially TikTok, have made bed rotting a trend, where it's like, guys, I've been sleeping for so long, I've been in bed all day and I haven't eaten anything. No, like, I don't think that's what bed rotting is. From my knowledge, bed rotting is where you're not lazy, you're like genuinely depressed, and you've been in bed for days, or even oh my god, I've got hair in my eye, I told you this fringe is too long. Or like even weeks, like you've gotten out of bed, but you only get out of bed to go to, like, not even to go to the toilet, but to get some food, and you haven't showered, you haven't brushed your teeth, you haven't gone to, like, you've been going to the toilet in bed. like, I've heard stories, this is just me hearing stories of what I've heard. I've heard like people who have periods, trigger warning by the way guys, just in case you're a little bit grossed out. This might be not TMI, well yeah, TMI, but not, this is what I've just heard on TikTok. People have like gone to the bathroom in their bed because they are like too depressed to go to the toilet themselves. People have had their periods in bed and not like bothered to put a pad on or put a tampon in or anything. Like, they've just let themselves bleed all over the sheets. They haven't brushed their teeth, haven't showered or anything. Like, that's what bed rotting is. It's not a trend, it's a serious thing where people should go and get some professional help or go and get put on medication or something like that. I don't think I have depression. I don't think, I haven't been diagnosed with it, so I'm not going to self-diagnose myself. I've had symptoms, Google symptoms of depression, but again, that's not me labeling myself. That's just me saying, oh, I Googled the symptoms and I've had quite a few of them. If I was to have another mental illness, it would probably be autism. Probably, like, low-key, I'm not even joking. My new catchphrase that I've been saying is low-key. I've been saying low-key so much to the point where it is genuinely, I'm cringing myself. I'm cringing at myself for saying low-key, but I say it so unironically. I don't know why. I just do. But like, I don't know. I just think if you do suffer with depression and you have been bedrotting, please go find some help. And if you are undiagnosed and you feel like you either have depression or you've been bedrotting, I don't even know, I'm not a professional, I don't really know what I'm talking about half the time, but if you do have concerns, or if people are concerned for you, like your mum or your dad or whatever, or you're just your carer, and they're concerned for your mental health, then I think that is definitely a sign for you to start. I know it's easier said than done, trust me, but you should definitely go and find some professional help, even if that's just to go to your doctor and say, hey, I have been struggling getting out of bed, I've been struggling to brush my teeth, or etc. They should help you, and if they don't, then maybe find like a therapist or something like that. I'm trying to help, and I don't want to get too deep into the first episode straight away, but it is a serious thing, and people do not take advantage of that, but I mean, yeah, some people do take advantage of your mental health, which is a very wrong thing to do, but people don't see it as a serious thing. They see it as like a quirky little trend, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. So yeah, anyways, we got a bit sidetracked, I think. Making friends is a very hard thing because this is where I was going with it. because we made mental health and mental illness into a trend on TikTok, we were just like, oh yeah, I have that, and we were just self-diagnosing ourselves, and I'm like, stop that self-diagnosing. Trust me, I did it in 2021, 2022, probably 2023 as well. I self-diagnosed myself with ADHD. I don't think I have ADHD. I might be on the spectrum, but I wouldn't think I'd be on the spectrum enough to be diagnosed with it. Autism, I have been told by quite a few people that I might have autism. So maybe I should go and call my doctor and get an appointment booked. But I'm not going to do that right now, because I can't be bothered to make an appointment right now. I've been saying this for the past year. So, yeah. But yeah, I just think people are on social media so much more than they used to be before lockdown, and we've just consumed so much of it in our lives where it has literally become our battery, our whole life. Like, I say that I could go a day without my phone, but then I think about it like without my phone, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not actually. Maybe I couldn't live without my phone, because the thing with me is every time I'm doing something productive, for example reading or even going on a walk, I take a photo and upload it onto my Instagram, on my Instagram story or whatever, just post it on social media. And every time I take a good photo, whether that be of myself, of landscapes, just like something, just anything that I think, oh, that's a good photo, I upload it to my Instagram or even up on my Pinterest, and it will be there forever unless the whole app just gets deleted, and then that's everything gone just like that. So I just think we've consumed so much where it has literally become everything, like, on one device, and I think that's really sad. And I try not to go on my phone that much, because if I do, like, my attention span, for example, right, my attention span is awful, and I blame TikTok for it, because TikTok is like, what, a 15 to 10 minute, well, 10 minutes now, but when I started using TikTok the first time it came out, because I was on Musical.ly, bring back Musical.ly, hashtag bring back Musical.ly. Musical.ly was my everything, bro. I low-key miss Musical.ly so much. We're getting sidetracked. Now I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Right, when Musical.ly became TikTok. I don't even know what point I was trying to make. I don't remember. I remember the point I was trying to make, but I don't know where I was going with my point. Like, when... I don't know, about how long the videos were. Yeah, the videos are short. They're short format. They're short videos, and, like, for example, when I'm watching live streams or even just a movie and they're like an hour plus long, I cannot sit through a whole movie. If I'm at a cinema, calm, I can do that. That's sound. If I'm here, if I'm at home, or just anywhere that isn't a cinema and I'm watching a live stream or I'm watching a movie, I'm picking my phone up like every 10 minutes. And sometimes when I pick my phone up, I get distracted and I start doom scrolling on TikTok, and then I'm like, wait, the movie's finished? And I thought there would be like another half hour left, or even an hour left. And yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this. I just think TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, all of that malarkey has ruined our attention span. I don't know what this has to do with making friends, but it's getting there. Yeah, we just, as a society, are becoming brain dead, and now, I don't want to get into it too much because that's a separate episode. Now, AI is taking over and allegedly taking over our jobs. We are just not gonna have to communicate with each other at all. I mean, we are putting ourselves in extinction, same with animals, but turtles are no longer being extinct, but polar bears are, unfortunately. I'm gonna cry in a minute, honestly. When it comes to animals and shit, it's actually horrible what we're doing. Again, separate episode. I'm getting sidetracked. I don't know what point I'm trying to make here. It's just really hard to make friends because everybody just wants their own friend group where they're comfortable, instead of bringing a new person into their group to then making them feel comfortable, so when we're all feeling comfortable. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do that. Like, literally, the way that I made... I mean, we're not even friends because we haven't even spoken at all since we got back from our Christmas break. We've been back for a day. But that's besides the point. I asked her... This is really, really bad of me to do. But I asked her if we could be friends and if I could join her group through Instagram DMs. I messaged her through Instagram and said, hey, I know this is a bit weird, but all of my friends, because all my friends are a year up from them because I missed a year out, so yep. So all of my friends are leaving in the next few months and I need some new friends. Is it okay if I could hang out with you in your group? And she said yeah. She was really nice and everything, and we spoke in person for all of 5 minutes after talking over messages. Never spoken to her again. She didn't put the effort in to be like, hey, you wanna come over here and sit with us? Do you wanna join our group? If it's like a group thing. None of that. I also have really bad social anxiety, which I'm sure I mentioned at the beginning of this episode. I have really bad anxiety. It's been a struggle for me for a long time. And the thing is, you can't really, when it comes to anxiety, from what I know, you can't really do anything about it. You do just have to get over it. And you can do techniques, like you can do your breathing techniques if you're having an anxiety attack, or if you're going in a panic, you can do a breathing exercise. The one that I learned in CAMS was awful, by the way. Don't recommend it at all. You like breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And you just do that until you know that you're breathing normally again. until you've regulated your breathing. That's probably the better way of saying it. But yeah, like, just find different techniques that suit you. That one does work for me. Also, the one that works for me the most is just taking myself away from the situation. I know that's not always possible. When it comes to talking to people, I'm okay talking to people if they talk to me first. It's making the first move I cannot do. Genuinely, it's genuinely my worst fear. One of my worst fears is making the first move and talking to people. Not making the effort, like, obviously I want to make an effort and I want to talk to people, but my anxiety is holding me back, and I need to kind of push the anxiety to one side and just talk and be myself kind of thing, which is definitely easier said than done, because it is a hard thing. And like, yeah, so I think the only way that I can think of that part of anxiety, the way to get over that, is to not think about it and not overthink it. Like, if you think, just like, don't get in your head, don't get yourself in your head. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't talk, I'm fucking dyslexic apparently. When you want to talk to someone, or if you want to make friends with them, don't overthink it, right? Don't get yourself caught up in this, like, oh, but what if they say this? What if they react this way? What if they do this? Like, that's worst case scenario. You know, like, worst case scenario, they'll just find you weird. Just move on. You know, like, just be like, okay, they weren't meant for me. We weren't meant to be friends because they find me weird. And just move on. Don't think, oh my god, now she's gonna hate me. They're gonna hate me forever. Oh my god, they're gonna think that I'm a fucking weird. Like, yeah, what if they do think you're a weirdo? And what? What can you do about it? You can't do anything about it. That's their problem, not yours. You're just, you know, being yourself, trying to make friends, trying to make conversation. And this friend is doing my head in. Low-key might just chop it off. No, that would be a silly thing to do, wouldn't it? No, but anxiety is all about finding techniques, pushing yourself. You can't be medicated for it, unfortunately, I don't think. From what I know, you can't just go to a doctor and say, hey, can I have medication for my anxiety? If there is, sign me up. But from what I know, no, there isn't. You're just gonna have to push yourself through it. Literally just get over it. Which is definitely a hard thing to do. But just find your technique that suits you and what helps you. And don't think about it too much. Just do it. You know? Just listen to Nike. Yes, I call it Nike, not Nike. Shut up. Just literally just do it. Because worst case scenario, they'll just reject you. If that's you talking to someone. You know, like, same with relationships. Again, we'll save that for a different episode. But, like, it's like rejection therapy, right? Like, I've seen loads of TikToks on it. Shocker, I was on TikTok. And there's this guy using Meta glasses and just talking to people like, hey, I really like your outfit. Just random people on the street. Hey, I like your outfit. And if they give you a weird look, if they reject you, move on. They've moved on, I'm sure. And just don't think about it too much. That's all I can say really about anxiety. Just, yeah, rejection therapy could probably, because it pushes you out of your comfort zone. And like, I've done this many times. I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone by talking to people, like just random people, just like, I like your dress, I like your shoes, I like what you're doing with your hair. And just like compliment people, because it'll make their day, and it'll put you out of your comfort zone and push you further into, you know, it'll, like, your anxiety is down here, but you could be up here, you know? You could not get rid of your anxiety, but you can learn how to deal with it in a better way. So you're putting yourself in a better headspace, because anxiety is not a good headspace to be in. So yeah. And again, we're making, why is it so hard making friends? It is because of your anxiety, maybe. If you've been diagnosed with it, there is a high possibility that it is your anxiety. And you're probably like, well, yeah, Mrs. Obvious over here, like, come on. But like, if you're not diagnosed with anxiety, maybe you could have it and it's just undiagnosed. Or you're just a naturally shy person. Just because you don't have anxiety doesn't mean that you don't have to be shy. Like, people without anxiety, it blows my mind that anxiety isn't a natural thing to have, because I feel like everybody that I know has some sort of anxiety, which is crazy to me. But like, people that don't have anxiety can also be shy, you know? The same with people with anxiety can be the loudest fucking person in the room. You know, just everyone deals with it in different ways. I don't deal with mine very well. I think I deal with it okay. It's not that I don't deal with it and I just let it consume me. That's not what I mean. I just mean that, like, it is what it is. It doesn't define who I am, because, like, believe me, like, I'm a completely different person when I'm around the right people. And I feel like I've found my friends, but I haven't at the same time, because, like, the friends that I have, I love and adore, and I would do literally anything and everything for them. But, like, I also feel like I've always felt like a bit of an outcast, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I mean, I listen to alternative music, but also not at all. Like, I don't know, I can listen to literally everything. Like, my top band, right, or no, my top artist overall is Bring Me the Horizon, right? Bring Me the Horizon, right. But also, Bring Me the Horizon might be my only alternative artist on my top 5 at the moment. Because we've got, right, my top 5 artists: Bring Me the Horizon, Madison, Billie Eilish, Charlie XCX, and Tate McRae. I didn't say Nessa Barrett. Switch Madison Beer with Nessa. Madison's got her new album coming out next week. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that. I've been waiting so long. I love her. But yeah, that's my top 5, right? Only one of them is alternative. People used to think that Billie Eilish was alternative. I think that's more of When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go album, probably, is when people thought that she was alternative. I don't know. I remember when she was called Satanic, all because of, was it Good Girls Go to Hell, or The Good Girls Go to Hell? Was it that music video? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know how long this episode is going to be, considering that it's my first episode, and I feel like I don't talk a lot, but I talk a lot. Like, I talk a lot, but really not at all. I just talk absolute gibberish, you know what I mean? I don't even know if... I can't even remember what I was talking about, what I have been talking about for the past 40 minutes. I can't remember at all. But I feel like I'm just repeating myself now. It is hard to make friends. It really is. But I think not just in school that you'll make friends, but at work as well. If you're employed, you'll make friends. Like, at my old job, I don't work there anymore, but at my old job, I made pretty cool friends. Everyone was so nice. I made quite a few friends. One of them left before I left. I literally left like a month after. He was my rock. He was literally my rock the whole time I started there, because he started a couple weeks before me, and then I started, and we kind of clicked instantly. I was like, hey, what is your name? And so he said his name, and you know, we I feel like, yeah, we were like best buds, dude. He was so funny. He was so funny. And then he left, and I was really sad and depressed. And then I left a month after, so. I didn't leave because he left either, by the way. I left because of I wasn't getting enough hours or enough money, but I should have stayed there regardless, because now I am currently unemployed. So, yeah, that's fun, I guess. It's so hard to get a job as well. Actually, yeah, I'll talk about this. Actually, what, shall I? No, because I'm not going to talk about it anywhere else, I don't think. This is like UK exclusive. Maybe. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but it's so hard to find a job. Not even to find a job, but to actually... So, I find a job. I apply for the job, right? They either reject me straight off the bat, and I'm like, okay. I got an email, actually, yesterday, that I had been waiting for about a week, maybe even 2 weeks, because I applied for this job, right? It was perfect. It was just down the road from me, right? And I got an email yesterday. What does the email say? We are no longer recruiting. They didn't even say that they found another candidate that was more suitable for the job. It was just, we're sorry to disappoint, but we are no longer recruiting. Excuse me? Bro, you make me wait 2 weeks to say, we are no longer recruiting. Sorry. Hello? Are you crazy? Like, that's actually insane. And like, it's either that, or you just get rejected straight off the bat, or they just never replied to you, Or you get called in for an interview and they're like, and by the way, the last interview that I went in was 45 minutes and I had to work for 10 minutes. I'm not getting paid. They just wanted to see what I'd be like working. So I was working for 10 minutes. Made a new friend, actually. Made a new friend. I forgot what your name was, I'm sorry. And I get an email a couple days later. Sorry, but we have found a much better candidate for this role. Sorry. Are you kidding? Are you joking? Are you having a giggle? Are you having a giggle? What do you mean? And I saw that other candidate. Bro, she looked about 40. 50 at most. Like, or you get an email saying, you are not suitable for this role, given that you have no work experience. I do have work experience, actually. Well, actually, no, that was before I had the job that I was at, so apologies. But still, like, how can I get the experience if you're not giving me the opportunity to get the experience? It just makes no fucking sense to me. And I'm like, I think this is why I want this YouTube thing to work so badly. Because, one, it won't be necessarily easier because then you would have to, like, put yourself in a routine of making the video, uploading the video, making the thumbnail, editing, and uploading. And keeping to a schedule, which I cannot do. I am terrible with keeping a routine. I can't keep a routine. I would love if I could make a routine and stick to it, but I can't because there's too many changes that change my routine that are out of my control. Bro, it's actually stressful. It is so stressful. But, you know, this is why I'm in education. If I already had a job, if I was still working and I had a full-time job before I went back into school, before I decided to go back into school, I would never have gone back into school because I would be working, which I would be getting paid for. But because the law says you have to stay in education until you're 18, I have to be forced into education. Because some companies, like the one that I was working at, don't allow under 18s to work throughout Monday to Friday, because then money would be leaving the company's account to pay for my child labour, because I'm a minor and I would be under 18. So they were like, you can only work on the weekends, sorry. Which was a bit shit. So that's the only reason why I'm in education, because the law says I have to either be in an apprenticeship or I have to be in education, learning, which is a bit silly, because all I want to fucking do is earn money and to work. That's all I want to do. And, like, I get it, but I also don't, because some people, like, know what they want, know what career they want, and are working towards that, right? Me, I want to be a tattoo artist, right? Right? Well, it is advised that you have somewhat of a degree in art or even health and social. I'm doing health and social because my sixth form college will not let me just do art. Like, I have to do something else. So I've now had to do triple health and social, which is hurting my brain a bit because I am not the smartest. I'm not the smartest, but I'm not dumb either. And I'm so glad that the grade boundaries are low. Like, if you get a score, like if you get 9 out of 90 on your exam, that is a pass, I think. No, 19 out of 90 is, no, that would be a merit. So, I don't know. The highest you can get is a distinction. So, there's an undergrade, I don't know what the N stands for, but there's a U, and then there's an N, and then there's a pass, and then a merit, and then a distinction. I have never got a merit before, I don't think, but I have passed every single, like, my 2 practice papers that I've done in class passed, and I passed my mock exam, and I have another exam next week. Fuck. I forgot that I have, okay. No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I just need to actually lock in, bro. I need to lock the fuck in. Bro, itchy nose. But yeah, I kind of got sidetracked, but like, it's hard to live as a teenager in this generation because everything is evolved around, like, screens. I have 3 screens in front of me. I have a TV, my phone, and then my iPad. So yeah, but like, in a way, you gotta thank all the screens around us, otherwise people who are influencers or content creators or live streamers would probably still be unemployed and living with their mothers in their 20s. So that's fine. So I think I'm going to end today's episode here. I don't even know what I've been talking about for the past hour, but I hope that it's helped. I don't really know. But this is my first episode. I'm hoping that I would be uploading an episode every Wednesday. I'm actually recording this on a Wednesday, so I don't know if I'm going to upload it today or if I'm going to upload it next week on Wednesday. I have no idea, but we'll see. If you're seeing this on the 7th of January, then I've uploaded it on the same day. But if you're seeing it on the 14th of January, 14th? Yeah, the 14th of January, then it's been it's been a week since. So yeah, I'm hoping to see you guys next week if I have able to stick to a schedule, but we'll see. And I'm hoping to see you all of you there. Please make sure that you subscribe as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks. Bye, guys.